and it is thinking. So, well, hello there. Carol Dockum here with Beautiful Faces Going Places Women's Success Network. And I am so excited because we are kind of back in the saddle here after a little bit of a holiday break during the summer months. I'm just really excited that we can leverage technology and actually host a virtual networking event so that we can market and promote women in business, small business owners and entrepreneurs, and also introduce you to these beautiful faces. They're all dynamic women in business and super interesting. They've got their own products, goods, and services and the problems that they solve, but they're here to make some new connections and create opportunities. So let's see. I think I said I'm Carol Dockum, CEO and founder. And in case you're new to Beautiful Faces Going Places, we are a visibility, education, and networking connections platform, supporting women in business and entrepreneurs, not just nationally, locally, but globally. And if you're asking, how do we do that? We do that by hosting events online and in person. So if you are a speaker, a trainer, a coach, and you're looking for opportunities to be visible, to get your products, goods, and services out into the world, reach out to us. We love marketing and promoting our members through webinars, summits, empower hours, business spotlights, you name it, we are doing it. This is the place to be. So thank you so much for joining us today, and I cannot wait to introduce you to these beautiful faces. But our host today is the fabulous Brenda Aveyard. Brenda is a successful entrepreneur and business professional who has extensive business experience and decades of personal success herself. Her expertise is in sales training, implementation, and leadership programs. Brenda has traveled throughout the USA, training others to be successful in sales and leadership. She focuses on prospecting, asking for the sale, and the often forgotten follow-up, while guiding her clients to achieve their full sales potential. I don't know about you, but I am really awful about asking for the sale. So it is so important to work with someone who can help you, push you to ask for that sale, right? And just the entire sales process. Brenda is also a published author, founder of the Top Performance Business School, workshop leader, motivational speaker, as well as a business coach working with sales professionals, entrepreneurs, and coaches. Please help me welcome the fabulous Brenda Aveyard.
Thank you. I'll tell you, I could just have Carol introduce me every hour of every day. I would feel like I was wonderful.
Well, you are.
Well, thank you. I am, it's so funny. I'll tell you just a little bit about me. I'm a hybrid. I'm half corporate and half entrepreneur. I've owned several businesses. The one everybody gets the biggest kick out of is that I owned a recording studio at Kings Island, a major theme park, which was really fun, except there were the challenges that you have there, like having 35 employees that were from age 16 to 22. Think about that for just a moment. And I had to teach them how to sell and how to walk out on the streets of Kings Island and tell people to come in and make a record or a music video. So that was an exciting time. I loved it. I loved it. I loved the young people, but they just didn't know how to talk or what to say and how to do. And I think it's some of the best training they ever had, because I still hear from some of them. And that was back in 1985. So it's been a long time, but that was great. And I was also a senior sales director with Mary Kay Cosmetics. So Mary Kay Ash was a great mentor for me. And I became a director in 6 months. And when I went to training, there was another gal there, Jody from Michigan, and she had a meeting with both of us. And then she met with us individually. And I feel like I was privately mentored by Mary Kay Ash. And I think that's where my values still stay, is faith first, family second, and career third. And then I worked in corporate, and everything has been involved in sales training and sales management of people. And I've traveled all over North America. I worked for a major weight loss company and did a lot of time in Canada, and retired from doing consulting with franchise owners in Canada and the United States, and became a coach. What a lot of people don't know about me is I'm a certified life coach also. But my passion is business, my passion is sales, because that's what I know how to do, and that's what I love to do. And, I would say I'm a sales and business coach, so I have a marketing person now. I want to tell you what she renamed me. I wrote it down. I have it on my computer here. She named me I've lost myself, but she named me definitely not a boring business coach, something like that. I can't see it. So that's my new thing, so we're just going to talk about how we can have fun with business and how we can find the beauty in business and in life. But first, I want to know who you are, and I want the people that are watching on Facebook to meet you. So if you can give me your 30-second marketing message, and tell us what you do and how we can contact you. I hope everybody has their contact information in the chat. If not, be sure to put it in there. So let's start with Deb.
Yeah.
Oh, you're muted, Deb.
Hi, I am Deb Meyer, and do you know that breathing stinky air can make you sick? Mold, mildew, pet urine. We have the answer to all those issues so you can breathe and give relief to your lungs and your attitude. You smell things bad, you're not always happy. We have different products for all those different types of odors. We're at odorexit.com. Deb Meyer, and thanks for having us here, Carol and Brenda.
Thank you for coming, Deb. I'll tell you, we have Odor Exit aplenty at home and at the lake. We have 2 dogs. If you have dogs or cats, you have to have Odor Exit. And she also has another product called Magic. And Odor Exit is really great for the smells that you get in your carpet or whatever. And Magic just makes your air smell like magic. So we're great fans of Deb's, and thanks for coming today, Deb. I'm so happy to see you.
You bet.
Okay, Kate, would you like to go next?
Oh, yes, love to. Hello, ladies. Are you worried about identity theft? How about if you are, I work with a company that is #1 the last 2 years in identity theft, according to Forbes magazine. Not magazine, Forbes. Anyway, if you don't have it, or if you do, and you get this kind of discount for the year, if you do it right then, just call me or email me, Kay Hunter with Legal Shield and ID Shield.
Thank you, Kay. We've had Legal Shield for, I think, about 20 years, and we've used it quite a lot. And it, you get a great, we always get a great company in Columbus, Snyder McGuire, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And they've helped us with many things. So great product. If you don't have it, I highly recommend it.
And
Okay.
they've been with us
Sarah.
for 25 years.
Yeah, thank you. Sarah, you're muted, honey, and Stacy, you'll be next, so you'll need to get unmuted too.
We need to figure that out, don't we?
Yeah, good. She's here.
So hi, I'm Sarah Mangold with SNR Flooring Design and Consulting LLC. We are a family-owned business. I have over 16 years of flooring, and 3 years ago, as of last month, we actually got our 3-year anniversary come up. So we have been in business for 3 years. So we do all of your flooring needs from pre-finished staining and refinishing, also luxury vinyl plank. We also do carpet, and we also do luxury vinyl tile. We also do epoxy as well for your garage needs. And if you have any cracks that you're dealing with still from the winter or from a lot of the rain that's going on, as long as you have an inspector actually inspect those cracks to make sure it's not a bigger issue, we can actually fill those cracks in your basement as well, so that you can have it repaired. And that way you don't have water coming through those cracks anymore. And right now, with it being over 50 degrees and it's really hot and it's been raining a lot, we've been getting a lot of calls for that as well. So we are your all one-stop flooring need. Sarah Mangold with SNR Flooring Design and Consulting.
Wow, Sarah, your business has really grown since I first met you.
Yeah,
Congratulations. You have a good reputation. Yeah,
thank you. We've been
good to see
doing-
you.
trying to grow and help people understand. I started seeing a lot of the costs go up, and I worked for some big companies, and we've seen how they're doing 50% margins, and I really try to get the best price as well as the best service for my customers.
Great. Thanks for coming today, Sarah.
Yeah,
And Stacy.
Yes. Hi. Thank you. Did you know that 70% of business owners do not feel confident that their books are correct and accurate to hand to their CPA? I'm Stacy Morris with Black Dog Financial, and I can help you ensure that those books are ready to go month after month and at year end for your CPA. This is Stacy Morris with Black Dog Financial.
Thanks, Stacy. Stacy's a great bookkeeper. She's really up to date on everything. She works. She's modest, but she also works as a contract CFO. If your company is bigger and you can't afford to hire a CFO permanently, Stacy is a great person for you to contact. Okay, thanks, Stacy. Thanks for coming. Okay, so I told you a little bit about me. You've told us a little bit about you. So let's talk about my newest venture. I talk about sales all the time, and I'm going to talk a little bit about sales and some about follow-up later on during this hour. But I want to talk to you about the connection between business and beauty. And I'm talking about this because my marketing person, Linda Lee, and I are rolling out a new plan, which will start next week on LinkedIn and Facebook. And it's going to be about business and beauty, because so many times women who are in business get so tied up in their business that they forget about finding the beauty in life, and the beauty in the surroundings around us, and the beauty in our country, and the beauty in ourselves and others. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, because there's no better businesswoman than a businesswoman who is balanced. So you have Brenda, business and beauty, and you have Carol, beautiful faces going places. So this is going to be one beautiful hour. So one thing we started rolling around what we wanted to talk about, and I think this is really important, especially since we're going to be starting back into the grind more come September, which is only like 6 weeks away. We're halfway through the year. And one thing I have to throw it in here, because you have to know that everyone waits until September or the end or mid of September to make their plan for the end of the year. It's too late, ladies. You need to do it now, because any changes that you implement and projects that you start seeing the results about 90 days later. So now is the time to take a couple of days, see what you need for the rest of the year, and then work it backwards and figure out what your actions have to be to get that. If you wait until September, you're too late. And some of you have businesses out there that thrive during the holiday seasons. So you need to have your plan now, and you need to start implementing it. If you want it to take effect in November, you need to start doing it now. So that's my piece of business advice for today. But I want to talk to you about beauty. My marketing lady, Linda Lee, she threw this out at me, and she said, I just thought of Brenda, business and beauty. And I have to tell you, it really struck a chord with me, because I know that during COVID, when we were restricted to our homes, is when I really figured out the balance in business and beauty and the priorities that I have. And it's so important for how we function. I'm telling you, I look for beauty these days, because life is fast, life is short, and life is hectic right now. So always be looking. I thought I had a nail appointment, but I had it wrong. And so I ended up at the Green, and I didn't have it. It was this morning, and I had to go back, but I went into the Apple store looked at the new computer, and I thought, I'll run in Talbot's because I had an hour on my hands. I ran in there, and if I wasn't tuned in to looking for beauty every day, I would have never seen this. The women in there were 3 women working, they were off the desk. We started a conversation, and it was a beautiful conversation. 3 regular women working, having a conversation. We were talking about fashion, we were talking about life, and it was a beautiful experience meeting and talking to those ladies. And they were so nice and so focused on service that I have to send a kudo out to them at Talbot's at the Green. I also find beauty. I look for beauty when I'm someplace outside, a beautiful flower, a beautiful plant, because it will give you some, it'll help to ground you. One of my clients is doing some work with mindfulness, and she was doing a practice run of it for 4 days. And so I attended 3 of them because I had something on the 4th, but it was really interesting because she starts everything out with a grounding exercise, and everybody's like, oh yes, I try to do this every day. And me, I am like, okay, guys, I never put my feet on the ground and feel the roots going into the earth. For me, that's really important. And I had just experienced that when we talked about beauty, because I started to think, she talks about how mindfulness works with leadership. And I'm sorry she isn't on here today. I invited her, but it was so beautiful the way it was done and the way we all talked about it. And, I was a person who had never done it, but I have to tell you, I really, really liked it. But to be able to learn to do that in 3 days, I was getting pretty good. If I did this every day, I'd be able to pull myself right back into the world of beauty with 2 inside breaths, because you have to ground yourself so that you don't react, you act to situations. So looking at all of that makes me a happier businesswoman. So I'm happy to be here because I'm looking for beauty today, and I'm looking for how that affects our business, because when we are stressed and we don't see any beauty in the world, our business as entrepreneurial women becomes a job, and that's not why we got into it. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about that, and I want you to join in the conversation. So I want you to think right now about something beautiful in your life, or something you saw that was beautiful. Linda Lee just posted a picture yesterday on LinkedIn with 2 little boys, and how they're playing in the corner of the yard. Those 2 little boys are her twin grandsons. But to look at that is just beautiful. She changed the banner on my LinkedIn screen. It's a beautiful field of wildflowers. I opened up my LinkedIn screen and I was just happy to have my face in front of that. So think of things that make you happy, because when you're happy, your clients are happy. When you're happy, your business grows, your energy's higher. And that's what people like. People like your energy. They like your knowledge, but they want to know who you are, and they want to know how you feel about things in life. So we're going to do some things. I'll tell you, I don't know how I'm going to do this because it takes about 2 minutes. I'm going to give you just a little bit of my story about my duck. I have a duck at Indian Lake. I adopted her last year. She was an ugly duckling. Her feathers weren't formed. She was scrawny. She had a goiter type neck, a little deformity there. She couldn't get in the water because she didn't have enough wings, enough feathers to swim. And I fed her. I went to Roger took me into Bell Fountain to buy duck food for her that had vitamins in it, because I didn't think she could make it through the year. And I found that some of my neighbors were feeding her also. And I named her Lily. And I prayed for Lily all year because I really didn't know if Lily could make it, but she fought so hard, and all the ducks and geese didn't want anything to do with her because she was different. Okay. But I saw beauty in that sweet soul, because I would watch her all by herself playing on the side of the lake. And I didn't know if she made it this year, but the first thing we did with her was we went looking for Lily, and we didn't see her for the first couple of weeks. And then we saw her. And the only reason I know for positive that it's Lily, she has a beautiful feathers and she can swim now, is because I said, that's her, Roger, look at her neck. And I got out of the car and I went over to the edge of the water, and I had some bread because I take it every time I look for her. And I called her. I said, Lily, come over here and see me. Do you know that duck swam right over to the edge of the lake, climbed up the rocks, came over, walked up to me. She ate the bread out of my hands, and then she took her little beak and she sucked on my fingers. And every week I see Lily. Now, if she's with other ducks or if she's with the geese, she won't come out of the water to me. But when I find her by herself, she just comes waddling up there and eats and sucks on my fingers. Lily, to me, is what beauty is all about. She wasn't beautiful and everyone ignored her. But now she's more confident and she's healthy and she has feathers and she's with all different kinds of ducks. She's got this one little duck. My one neighbor happens to think that she's not a girl, that she's a boy duck, because she thinks that Lily is the father of this little baby duck. But she'll lay around with the geese. She became very flexible because she had to. And it gave me a lesson in judgment. And I find her the best example of love and beauty. That I learned a lot from my duck. I guess that's all I can say. And it makes me a better person. And she's a live duck and I'm really happy. But we have to find things like that. I also found out that there was a neighbor over here that was feeding her and called her Dee Dee. And there was a neighbor down here who thought she was a boy and called her Ronnie the Runt. We don't know what she is, but we all know that we love her and we're glad that she made it. So I want you to think of one thing that you can think of that's beautiful in your business, that's beautiful in your life, something you can share that you can have conversations about with other people. Because right now people need to see beauty. You know, we really need to see it. So who has something they would be willing to share? Deb, yay, unmute yourself. Okay.
So I lost my Puggle, my dog, back in October. And I'm finally ready for a new dog. So I've been looking and I've decided that a Puggle is the only kind of dog I want. I look on them on the different rescue sites. I don't want a puppy because I'm too old to train it or chase him. But I look on the pictures of Puggles and there's so many rescues. It's very saddening, but they're so cute. They're so adorable and they just make me smile. So Puggles.
Well, you know, Deb, a good resource for you is Sally, because she's really active in that. So I'll tell her you're looking and she'll probably get with you. But look at this little guy. This is Cody. Cody, I understand what you're saying. I called my breeder because I take her rehomes from her, he's sleepy, from her show dogs and studs, and he's been a daddy and he was a champion show dog. And I called her because I needed a dog because I lost my little Sammy a little over a year ago. And she said, well, I have one. And she said, his name is Cody. She said, the only thing is he's 7.5. I said, well, I wanted one. She said, I know, 2 to 4. She said, but Cody's a perfect match for Dusty, the other one that's laying down there. They work with their mom. But he said that, so I sent the picture to Roger and I said, what do you think of this little guy? I said, there's only one problem. He's 7.5. So he's a senior dog in like 4 months. Roger sent me a text back. It was good, but it was kind of bad. He said, I don't care. I like him. He said, we're old too. And I thought, speak for yourself. But we got him. And Deb, he's 8 now. He'll be 9 in a couple months. But you want to know something? He has just as much love as any other dog, and I think even more. He's really made our household happy. So say bye. Go back to sleep.
Bye, Cody.
He's a wonderful little guy. Thanks for sharing that, Deb. Who has something else they'd like to share? Who has some wouldn't like to share that I have to call on? Stacy. Stacy's been on vacation and Stacy has beautiful children. So what is something beautiful that grounds you in your business, and or a beautiful story that you can tell to when you're talking to your clients?
I don't know. I mean, recently I have beautiful hydrangea bushes outside my house, and I love, like, I can't reach them, but I'm cutting them, looking at them all the time. And it just makes me feel warm inside, and I just love it. I don't know how that translates to my business, but.
Well, it doesn't really have to, because it translates to you. If it makes you smile, then when you talk to your clients, you're smiling on the inside. And when you're smiling on the inside, it comes to the outside. Beauty doesn't have to be something that's pretty. It's something that makes you feel good inside. And I think that's a perfect example. I have bird feeders outside. I just had a bluebird. You probably see me look down every once in a while because I have redbirds come. I have bluebirds come. I have this big fat bluebird, and it just picks something up on the ground that is, I don't know, it looked like a worm, but I don't know if I have worms out there, but it makes you feel good. So it makes other people feel good, you know? And I mean, if you said to one of your people and you're talking, oh my gosh, I had such joy today when I looked outside and my hydrangeas were in bloom. I love my garden. And I bet you 90% of them would say, oh my gosh, I have flowers too. What's your favorite? Mine are the geraniums that hang and grow. It opens up something besides business to talk about. And that's really good, Stacy. That's exactly what I was looking for. Now, Sarah, what do you have? You're muted.
There we go. I could, so you guys don't hear my background noise with my dog and everything. She's old. But yeah, I am too. I'm getting there. So some of the beautiful things that I feel like in my business that I wouldn't be able to do if I wasn't an entrepreneur and wasn't a business owner is like we went to a lake house all week 2 weeks ago. And I was able to take that time. And since I was closed down, so was my son. So we were able to take that time and have that family time and just enjoy it. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I worked for a company. So sometimes that's my reset. I'll sit there and think I wouldn't be able to do some of the things I can do during the week to kind of reset myself if I'm stressed out in life or business, is to take that time and just be with nature. And be able to float in the water, and look up at the sky and try to reground yourself. And I try to think of that as much as I can when I am in the hustle and bustle of everything.
And I can see by the way you're talking about it, moving your hands, you're living it all over again by telling it.
Right.
So if it makes you happy, it makes other people happy because they like to deal with happy people who like beautiful things.
Right.
Thank you so much, Kay. What do you see beautiful around you?
I have probably 40 different kinds of daylilies. Yes. And it's really, they're great. I mean, they're all different colors.
I'll have to get some starts from you next year because I only have yellow.
Okay. Next time I see you, I'll show you a picture. Maybe.
Okay, wonderful. We should have a share day where we have conversation and everybody shares their screen and shows their beauty. But I want Carol to tell us. She has beautiful faces going places. What do you see as far as beauty in the world?
Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, let me just say that I see beauty in each and every one of you. But gosh, I just want to, I'm just taking it all in, right? And I'm thinking about Kay's, what did you say? You had 15 or 17 daylilies?
I've got about 20, 30.
20. I don't
different
know.
times.
I don't know if you know this, my family, I'm married into the Daylily farm in Oxford, Ohio years ago. We have over 1,500 varieties of daylily. So
Awesome.
I'm going to be, we sold the farm 2 or 3 years ago, and it's no longer a daylily farm, but I'm going to be tapping into your daylilies here. Now that I know you have over 20 varieties, how cool is that? But yeah, daylilies can just light your morning, right? And they bloom for one day, and they just all these beautiful different colors and varieties. And yeah, so I totally understand how you find beauty in daylilies. So, and Sarah, I'm thinking about you, and that you shared that, being able to unplug and be with nature, spend time with your family. And I so value that. And especially as entrepreneurs and small business owners, right? We're passionate about what we do, right? And we do have a bit of a hustle and bustle, but gosh, if we could just take that time to unplug, recharge, and enjoy, to be present with the people that we're surrounded with, our family, our friends, the activities that we have scheduled for that time out, it is so critical. Let me just say, like you, Sarah, now I'm back in my home office, and I am like on fire, and that's so exciting because you unplug, you're recharged, and you can refocus, right? You're reinvigorated. So I too, like Sarah, find beauty in unplugging because that rejuvenates you. You get recharged and so excited about what you do. And as Brenda has shared with us, the people that we're with, our clients, our colleagues, the people that we work with, they feel that energy and that excitement. And when we're happy and we feel good and we see the beauty surrounded around our surroundings and we're working in, that affects others. So that positivity, it just is, it's energizing, right?
Yeah, it's all about relationships and helping people feel good about themselves, and they feel good about you when you feel good about yourselves, when you're happy and you see the beauty in the world, because when you start looking for it, you will see it in people too. Like I did those ladies at Talbot, you'll see it in attitudes, you'll see it, and you'll be able to compliment people about it. I said, you girls have been so much fun today. And I really felt it. I felt it in my heart. And it helped me to be friendly and a better person. So yeah, that's good. So we talked about beauty, but we only have a few minutes left, and Carol and I want to talk about something else with you because business always comes into it when I'm on here. It's just expected. But we were talking yesterday in a prep call for this networking event. And we were talking about how important it is to make sure that we are staying connected virtually as well as live, because we never know when the time can ever arrive back. Mask mandates are happening in some places right now, and we never know when we'll be stuck back inside, maybe for a short period of time or not. So being seen virtually as well as being seen face to face it's a new reality of 2022. So I want to that's why I invited, I really admire Stacy and Deb and Kay, because I invited them to come here today, and they did, and some other people didn't decide to come, because I think being that is very important. So I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things that you need to do when you're on a virtual networking call, because how many of you find it's hard to make connections and get business from virtual networking? Yeah, I think it is too. And it took me a long time to figure this out, but I want to share a couple things with you, and maybe you're doing them and maybe you aren't. When you get on a virtual networking call, I don't ask, I just automatically do it, because people like Carol encourage people to do this. Some don't, but what are they going to say? Delete your message? No. But put in their information about you in the chat so that people who like something that you said will be able to contact you. So if you look in the chat and you look at what I put in here, it looks really long. It's not very much on a big piece of paper, but they know my name. I forgot what Linda Lee renamed me of, not definitely not a boring business coach, but I put savvy sales and business coach. I want to have some fun with my business. And I have how they can call or text me. I have my website, my email. I have get your free gift. And I have schedule a complimentary session to discuss your #1 business challenge, schedule a 1-to-1 with me. And it kind of repeated itself. I did it twice because it didn't take the first time. So both of them came out. So it's really only half that long. But there's no doubt that you don't know how to contact me if you want to have a one-on-one, or if you want to talk to me about a business challenge and let me give you some feedback on that. There's no question. Okay. Now, you also need to keep this because you can't be writing everything down while you're on the phone. So if you all can open your chat, and at the bottom where it says to everyone, to the right, let me say something about to everyone also. To everyone, if you drop that menu down, it has all of our names on there so that we can actually send a private message to each other. If we like, if I haven't seen Sarah for a long time, I could have sent a private message to Sarah if I was a participant and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe how your business has grown. I'm so excited to find out more about this, and schedule a one-on-one with her, but if put it all in there so that people can, but be careful, don't write anything snotty or anything in a private message, because I always copy the scripts and sometimes private messages show up on the chat when you save it. So always save the chat. How many of you do not know how to save the chat? Everybody knows how? Well, I'm going to tell you anyway, because the people that are on Facebook with us right now may not know. But to the right of everyone, you'll see 3 dots, ... That makes me think of Mamma Mia, the movie. But the first option is the save chat. So if you all click save chat right now, what's going to happen is when you get off of this, it's going to be a file on your desktop. And what I do is I rename the file. Now I will rename this file as BFGP. That's my easier way to type beautiful faces going places. And I will put on there July 22. And I have a folder that is just for chats with different organizations that I'm on there. Now, before I put it in that folder, it will sit on my desktop. I might minimize it. But within the next 24 hours, I will make sure that I offer an invitation to connect on LinkedIn with the people that were on that call. It's a great way to build your LinkedIn connections. And it's also a great way to show people that you appreciated being able to meet them. I think you all on here are already connected with me on LinkedIn, so I won't be doing that today. I'm going to check Sarah, but I think for sure we're connected on LinkedIn, aren't we? Yeah, I think we are, but I'll double check that. But send them a connection request and make sure anytime you connect with anyone on LinkedIn, it says, do you want to send a message? Send it. Send a message. Don't just do a cold connection. It was so great to meet you at Beautiful Faces Going Places today. I look forward to getting to know you. Here's a link if you'd like to schedule a one-on-one. I'd love to chat with you if you are so inclined to feel that way. And then you can just copy it and paste it into other people that were on that call. So I'm going to encourage you that if there's someone here that you didn't know before this call, that you connect with them on LinkedIn. And then when they're thinking, oh, who was it that told that duck story? Or who was it that has 20 varieties of daylilies that I could get a start off of next spring? They could go, remember, it was at Beautiful Faces Going Places, and they could go back and find your contact information. So I just wanted to tell you, everything about sales is ask, ask, ask. Ask for the appointment, ask for the sales conversation, ask for the sale, ask for the referral. So that your new word for today that you need to say to yourself at least 20 times today is, did I ask? Did I ask? Who did I ask today? So that's all I have to say, but Carol has a couple other things that she wants to talk to you about virtual networking to get the best results.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brenda. And I love that you said to ask, right? The worst thing that can happen is you get a no show or a no response or just a plain old no, and that's okay, right? But ask. Yeah, so I love, Brenda, that you shared with, you hadn't seen Sarah in a while, right? And I know
Yeah.
I normally see Sarah at in-person events as well. And I met her about 3+ years ago or 4, when she just launched her company, her new flooring and carpeting company. I met her at eWomen Network, and I thought it was amazing. And to see her growth and success in business over the past 3 years is amazing. But I love that you said, I haven't seen you in a while, right? And that is the value of virtual networking. You know, when I launched my company, oh gosh, we're coming up, I believe, on 4 years this September 25th. That was the gift that I gave to myself on my birthday 4 years ago, was the gift of this business. I got my LLC on that date. I was just, it came in the mail on my birthday, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is happening. This is real. But, coming from chamber world, I saw the value of joining your local chamber of commerce, right? But then I also saw and envisioned this amazing way to connect women in business, to offer resources and support and information, education, online, leveraging technology. And that's what we're doing here today, leveraging technology. And what I love about virtual networking is really through conversation, right? Brenda led us through a fabulous exercise of just sharing the value of finding beauty in everyday life, not only which will resonate to your business, but that the value of sparking that conversation. I feel like after today's event, I got to know you, Sarah, more. In UK, I had no idea you love daylilies. And Stacy, you sound like a phenomenal bookkeeper and passionate about what you do. And I love the fact that you also are a CFO consultant as well. And you have an appreciation for hydrangeas. But, if we had not had that activity, and Deb with her puggles, and we got to meet Cody, and it's sparking conversations through and making these new connections and creating opportunities for one another. And that's how we get to that know, like, and trust factor that we hear about all the time, right? It's almost like a little bit of a cliche, know, like, and trust, know, like, and trust. So what does that mean, right? That means showing up as your genuine self, being interested in other people, being a good listener. And then, yes, I know exactly now what you do, Brenda, what Stacy, what you do, and Kay and Sarah and Deb. But, how do you move beyond that? Products, goods, and services, right? I want to get to know you as an individual. And by you conversing and sharing, your love and passion in other ways, besides just business, I'm like, you guys are super cool, super interesting, and I want to get to know you more. And people may not need what you have to offer right now, right? Like, I may not need a bookkeeper right now, or legal shield, or identity theft protection, or carpet and flooring. But believe me, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months from now, I may need those services or products or goods, or I may need it. Hey, Brenda, I am ready to work with you one-on-one, or your next group coaching program. It's time to up level. It's time to scale my business and really bring in, the sales, help me with my processes, help me with my language. So it all starts with a conversation, right? Getting up, dressing up, showing up, and contributing, and really caring about other people. So I just want to say, Brenda, you are phenomenal. This was a great hour, a power hour spending with you. And I just want to say thank you so much. So I think you taught us too the value of the follow-up, right? And to ask for the sale, ask for the one-on-one, continue the conversations, and ask for that referral. Who do you know? And I'm looking at the time here. We've got a couple of minutes left here. I would love to hear if Stacy, Kay, Sarah, or Deb, if you have a special offer, promo, or some upcoming events or an announcement that you'd like to make, this is your opportunity. And if you have gratitude that you'd like to express for the time that you've spent with us. So if that's okay with you, I'd love to just pass the mic around and then we'll have Brenda wrap up. Let's see. Who would like to go first?
I'll go.
Awesome.
So I was just listening to something recently. I don't know what it was. It was talking about gratitude, and it said to take your next few days and set your alarm, and every hour have the alarm go off. Stop and think of something you're grateful for. Well, I kind of started to do that, but I couldn't think of anything. I think we take so many things for granted that I couldn't think of anything. But everything you guys all said is in my life. I have a bunch. I probably had, they got overrun, 20 different kinds of daylilies in my yard. I love them. I watch them every morning. I'm apparently taking them for granted because they didn't pop into my head when you said, what are you grateful for? I have a garden. Stacy mentioned flowers too. I have a garden. I haven't had a garden in 40 years. I go out every morning and pull the weeds and water it. So, I wasn't thinking of that as being anything special either. It was just, I do go out and I talk to it and thank God for it and appreciate it when he makes it rain and I don't have to. But it just didn't pop into my head as something when the alarm went off every hour, I was grateful for it. So we just, I guess, need to stop and smell the roses, as they say. But it was just interesting to hear what all of you use as pleasure as well. And we need to take a bigger note of that, I think. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Deb. You're absolutely right. There is so much value in gratitude. And when we can find the things in our lives to be grateful for and to take that little time out and fill our hearts and souls with gratitude.
I'm grateful too that Rebecca showed up, even though we're just done talking about it.
I know.
It was at noon, Rebecca. Did you forget?
I did. I was all excited and forgot to put it on my calendar. And then all of a sudden I'm looking, it's like, oh my God, it's 5 to 1. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to at least get on and say hi. Oh, thank you for sending me the invite, Brenda.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I really wanted to have you here today. We have been talking about beauty and business. And so we have shared things that are beautiful in our lives, because when we feel that sense of beauty, then we project it from ourselves, and other people feel better because we feel good. And Kay's was daylilies, and Deb's is the love of a 4-legged animal, and she's ready for a new puggle. So if you know anybody that has a puggle, an adult one, she's looking for a new baby, and they've got it made when they live with Deb, trust me. And, we've talked about different things. Stacy has hydrangeas blooming in her yard, and we've just talked about those things. What is something that brings beauty to your life that will help you reflect better in your business?
Oh, well, first of all, thank you for sharing all the ways. I thank you for sharing this topic, Brenda. It's just so nice to focus on something beautiful, and because there's so many ways to focus on other things. So thank you for doing that. For me, yesterday I was walking, and this tree, I walked next to, saw this tree, and it was so beautiful. It was just stately, and it had the most vibrant green and unique. And then I'm walking and I see another tree and another, and they're all so unique and vibrant and just alive. And it was just such a joy to see them. And I think for me, that beauty reminds me of just the beauty that's in every living thing, and I get a choice on how I want to look at it. And so even in my business, like, I know for you, when you talk, having worked with you on sales, talking about the uniqueness of what you bring to the marketplace and the value that it brings. And so that always reminds me, because sometimes when we have different jobs, like we might be doing similar things and we think, well, who's going to want us versus this person or what? It's like, everything, it has its own uniqueness to it. And where if we don't step forward, then it could be that one person that's looking for what we have to bring won't have it to choose from. So thank you for letting me share. So it's good to see everybody.
Thank you. So good to see you today. And our clients and our prospects want to know who we are, how we think, what we like, and just talking about something that oh my gosh. Before we get started, I just have to tell you this wonderful experience I had at Talbot's the other day. They want to know how you think, and it's a great way to do that by sharing beauty. Okay. Anybody else have anything else they want to share? I know we're running out of time, right, Carol? Sarah has something. You're muted.
I do it every time, don't I?
Yeah, you do. You're good at it.
So tonight, we do have an event. If you guys like to play volleyball or just want to network at Diggs and Mason. It's a volleyball event that we put off every year for our H7 Masons. So you don't have to be a member if you guys just want to come and play volleyball network.
Oh, thank you for the invitation.
Yes, from 4 to 7.
Okay, great. Anybody else have an announcement? Okay, Carol, I think this is a wrap. Do you have any closing remarks to make?
I do. I just want to say thank you, Kay, Deb, Rebecca, Sarah, and Brenda, and Stacy for joining us today for virtual networking. I just want to remind you that all of our events are posted on our website at beautifulfacesgoingplaces.com. You can also find us on Eventbrite, Facebook, LinkedIn. We are like everywhere since we are a visibility, education, and connections platform. Next Wednesday, I am inviting you all to join us for a virtual open house. I'm inviting all of our success team members, all of our members, and I really would love to make some introductions. So come and join us for a virtual open house next Wednesday, July the 27th. 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and would love to have you contribute to the conversation and market and promote your business. That's what we are all about. And I just want to say thank you so much. Have a great day. Please connect with Brenda Aveyard if you are looking for a speaker, trainer, coach, or interested in her academy. You can find her at brendaaveyard.com. Thank you all so much for joining us. Have a great day. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.